Okay, so removing the subwoofer in the back of a 2021 and up, they're going to be the same from that year on, Lexus is350. There are a lot of tutorials on how to do this for 2020 and below, but nothing I found for 2021 and up. So here's the process. I already got a couple things removed just to make it simple. These are the simple things. So you're going to want to start right here. You're going to remove this panel here. Just pull it up, use some rubber gloves, pull it up and out. Do the same on the other side. The next thing you want to do is remove the back seat, this part of the back seat. What you want to do, it seems like it won't come out, but it comes out. You just have to tug on it. So pull your driver's seat and passenger seat forward all the way. Get in here. Use both hands to sort of get under here. It clips right there with just a simple clip, and the same on the other side. So what you do is you just pull it up. Give it a little force, it should come out. So then you untuck the seat belts, and then the entire seat, this portion of it just comes out. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is remove, in the 2020 Lexus is350, this part with the airbag, I believe, is attached to this part, so it's all one piece. Here, these parts are not one piece. They're separate pieces in the 2021 and up. So what you want to do is you're going to want to unclip the airbag here. It's a little counterintuitive, but you basically want to push on this white part here and stick a tiny screwdriver in this yellow part right there and pull this part up, the yellow part up, and push on this part, and that connector should come out. It takes a minute, don't break it off, it's very important. I'm sure some kind of lights will go off or whatever if you screw up this connector. So, sorry, one thing I forgot to mention is you're gonna wanna remove these screws here, one here, and one on the other side just like that, for this piece to come loose. And then after that, that piece comes loose, both of these pieces come loose. You're gonna wanna remove this part right here that holds in the seat belt. It's just a simple screw back there. And then these parts should come out. Watch part 2 on removal of the back seat. What that is just 4 screws, I believe, right down there. And then basically you push the seat in and up and out, if that makes sense. Okay, so we got this part removed here. I was wrong again on the 2021s and up. This part of the back seat looks like it's just gonna be these bolts right here, 2 here, and 2 on the other side. I think these are either gonna be, definitely not 12s, but let's remove these and see what happens. Okay, scratch that. No need to remove the back seat part of it. I see what's going on here, how they did it. So the change from 2020 to 2021 is because there's this airbag piece right here that's not attached to this seat, the back seat here, which goes like this. There's no need to remove it. The only reason you were removing it in the old one is because you need access to here, to this guy. And to remove this guy, you need to remove these panels here. And you couldn't do that because the seat was in the way, I think. So far it's coming off. So you want to remove this panel here, the plastic panel that goes around here. Then we're gonna remove these guys, probably just remove this guy as well, so it's not in the way. And then you have to remove this tray back here, essentially, really carefully, because there's also a brake light back there. So if you get to it under the tray there, you'd have to disconnect that connector there and then remove that tray. But in order to do that, again, you have to take these pillars off. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so this piece here, this part right here is held on to this piece right here with 2 metal clips inside. You're gonna need some pliers to get it off. It's not too hard. So what I suggest is pulling this piece up until you can see them. Just pull it up until you can see them, and then use pliers to push them down, push them out and down. I don't think I'm gonna reinstall them because it's very annoying, and all it does is just hold the weather stripping in place under the plastic trim, which is sort of seems redundant. But anyway, also there's 4 plastic pieces here holding this guy here. So there's 4 of those. just use your standard one of these guys. Probably better if you have a metal one. This came with something else, so I'm just using this. And then for this piece, the trim here, right, which is over here on the side, what you want to do is you want to be careful with these blue clips here, as they're easy to break. So as you can see, the first two by the frame here, right here where the door closes, the first two, pop them out, and then you can just slide the whole unit out. No need to take out the additional 1, 2. Yeah, there's 2 more. So pop the first 2 out and then slide the unit out. And then that should give me access to here. This tray is really frustrating to remove. It's really hard just to get to the speaker. I don't know why Lexus did it that way, probably so that no one touches their OEM system, tries not to mess with it. But for us car people, you know, speakers are probably one of the first upgrades to do. So let's keep working on this. All right, so both of these panels are out. The last thing to do to get to the subwoofer is, unfortunately, you're gonna have to remove these guys, because you have to feed this entire thing through there. They did not leave an opening for that. So that's the last piece here, is removing the seat belt bolts. Jesus Christ, this is quite an undertaking. But remove those pieces, feed the seat belt through that little hole right there. This guy right here just comes out. It seems like it's in there, but it just comes out with a plastic tool like this, or any other plastic tool, right? So that'll come out. And then I remember the tutorial for the 2020 said to be real careful there to not damage your window. So that brake light's connected under that tray, unfortunately. So once I'm able to lift this guy up, I'll see how that's done, but should be pretty straightforward. And then we'll have access to the subwoofer. So the plan, unfortunately, I don't get my subwoofer until tomorrow. It uses the exact same connector as it uses for all the 4 doors, which is a Metra connector. So I don't remember. All right, so back in the house, all the shit's removed. This guy, the tray, when you're in there, there's clips right there, and there. So you kind of have to like tug, like pull it up a little bit. That's a little bit of work. It seems like it's bolted down, but it's not, promise you. And then the brake light, like I was saying, there's a tiny connector. So once you yank this thing up, you can get under there and be real careful. There's like no room to work to get to this connector. There's no slack on the cable. So I used a tiny screwdriver to just kind of push the connector and just yank it out of there. That was another annoying part. And I was totally right. Whoever had this car before me, look at the subwoofer. Half of it's missing. I mean, I don't know what the fuck they did to this thing, but you know, like half of the subwoofer is missing. It's all torn up. I'm guessing they tried to run just another sub and, you know, couldn't figure out how to disconnect it, and then couldn't figure out, I didn't want to disassemble the car like I did. So they just sort of ground it down and then kind of tore it up. That's very annoying. I mean, it's a 2021. How do you treat your car like that? But that's besides the point. So this, you know, the difficulty of this project, I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, I would put this in an 8, just because of how much garbage you have to remove out of the car. There's just so much trim. I mean, look at all this stuff. This is all the stuff that had to come out from the car just to get to the subwoofer. But, you know, all in all, once you kind of get the hang of it, start working on it, you know, it's just all plastic clips, couple of bolts. I think I did a pretty good job in explaining where everything is. You know, putting it back is going to be just working backwards. I don't know if I'm going to video that, but maybe. Subwoofer comes in tomorrow. The links are below. So the process, again, I didn't video or take pictures for the doors or the dash, but it's pretty easy. If you've ever done any kind of subwoofer work, I guess if you're watching this video, you've done some kind of work on vehicles before by yourself. So I would assume, at least. So for the dashboard, they're 3.5 inch
They're all over. You can buy them on I bought mine on Amazon, some Kicker 3.5 inch, 80 watts rated. I don't know how much power they're drawing from the amp, but they work pretty well. So all you do is remove the grills, you just pull them up, and then it's just 10mm bolts. You can get a Metra harness, which, you know, again, is below in the links. Then for the doors, again, the doors in the front are 8-inch mid-range subwoofers. I used Skar shallow, the links below. The Metra harness as well. The Metra harness for the doors is going to be different than for the dash, as you can see from the links. And then for the rears, it's 6.5, same harness, same Metra harness. And for the subwoofer, it's an 8-inch subwoofer. Again, I put the link for the Skar subwoofer that I bought, and it's the same harness as the door speakers. So hopefully somebody and you guys find this video helpful, because what today is 2024 January. This car's been out for like almost 4 years, and there is zero resources on how to pull this out. There's a bunch of 2020s and all the years below, but there was no resources, no videos. So hopefully you guys find this helpful, because this tends to this sucked. This really sucked, removing all this stuff. But I'm glad I did this, and again, hope you guys find this helpful.